right, what is going on, guys? This is your boy ShadyMikeGaming, and welcome to another NBA 2K21 signature shot. Today we are working on James Harden. James Harden, and again, at the time of making this video, James Harden is still a Houston Rocket. I don't know what's going to happen with Harden. He could be traded to the Nets, could be traded to the Sixers. I hope he's not traded to the Sixers, but we will see what happens. First and foremost, I just wanted to say, guys, special shout out to everyone that stopped by the stream. That was a lot of fun. I wanted to also say, if you guys do like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the video with a like. I really do appreciate all the support. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into the signature shot. You guys know I like to start my signature shots. I like to, you know, kind of do an analysis of the default shots. So here we do have James, and this is his default jump shot, which form wise I will say is very accurate in terms of the form. I will say it's not very accurate in terms of the motion. You guys know the rules, you know how we do this by now. The main issues is, number one, Harden's going to get a little bit too much vert on the shot. The second issue is he's going to shoot the ball, basically, if I can get the camera right, he shoots the ball way too high over his head. Now, one thing that they got the form pretty accurate, but the only thing with James is he is going to shoot, you know, have pretty much this same form, but he's going to shoot the ball kind of like right here, right in front of his face, and it's a quick, clean motion. The base is very good in the sense that James Harden does shoot the ball with his body angled to the left. Again, we know that a lot of people do like taking this shot ready stance slightly angled. Obviously, he's a lefty, so he's going to be angled to the right. You know, righties are sometimes going to angle the other way, but he does kind of have that slight angle to the side, but he does not get this much vertical on the shot. So we're going to be changing the base, and again, he does not have that high of a release point. Again, I'll be honest with you guys, it's a very basic jump shot. He doesn't do anything crazy. There's really no distinguishing factors of his shot. It's just the release point is off, and we're going to be going ahead and fixing that. We're also going to be taking a look at his handles, and we're also going to take a look at his step backs. Harden's signature size up is just not good in the game for some reason. He just, watch this. He just does this over and over. That's his signature size up. He doesn't do anything else. Harden has shown a much more exquisite, I don't know if that's the word I was going for on that one, but he just a much more detailed, and, you know, he's got a good handle, and he's a lot more creative with the ball. So we got to find him a signature shot that, you know, fits what he does, you know, before he's doing his step backs and things of that nature. And I think I came up with some fire, guys. We're gonna go ahead and cut to that now. Let me know what you think. All right, guys, and we are back with the Harden signature shot. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we came up with. Again, this was not a difficult signature shot to do. Again, the number one thing we wanted to make sure we took care of was the base. We still want that offset position, the left foot in front of the right and kind of angled to the side. The number one thing that we're looking for, look at that release point right here. This is all we're talking about, the release point. When he does shoot, that offhand does flare inwards just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but again, this was probably, believe it or not, one of the easiest SIG shots that we were able to come up with, just in terms of, you know, what we had to change. Not a lot. So again, take a look. Not a lot of vert. That release point is right in front of the face. Most of the changes for Harden, again, are going to be with his handle and with his moving jump shots. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right, guys, so taking a look at the James Harden signature shot, we are going with set shot 13, very similar to the base James Harden base. Again, just with a little bit less vert. We're going with base 135 blended to 25 with release 33. I found release 33 was almost identical to the Harden release. It's almost identical. Like if you switch from one to another, I'll actually show you guys. So if you go over and put this at 0, watch this. We're gonna scroll all the way to Harden. Watch that release right there, and watch this release. They're almost the same exact thing, but what we found was the base release 33 just had a little bit less lift. He was shooting it a little bit less over his head, so that's why I went with that. Release timing is normal. Now, what you're gonna want to notice with this was when I was watching the footage, I did notice an ever so slight hitch in James Harden's shot, so I went with release timing normal. One thing to think about though is you may want to go with quick. This is completely user preference. I found that quick was a little bit too quick for Harden's release, but the release timing also affects the quickness of his step backs, and I did find that Harden's step backs are pretty quick, so you may want to go with quick when if you go with the release at normal, those step backs are a little bit slower, so that's something to keep in mind. As we take a look at the free throw, the Harden free throw is perfectly accurate. There's no reason to change that. I went with the Nate Robinson pull-up. This seemed to be, you know, very similar in terms of the release point and things that I saw him do at the mid-range area. Again, he doesn't do a lot of dribble pull-ups from 3. Those are mostly going to be step backs and snatch backs and things of that nature. Spin jumper, I couldn't find any footage of him doing a spin jumper, so I just found the one that I felt animation wise fit exactly what he was doing. Now this was the controversial one. When I said on stream I wasn't using the Harden step back, we're going with the Ben McLemore step back. This has actually been you know, kind of a go-to for me for a few years now. Again, a lot of people are going to be obsessed with the Harden step back because he does do the double step backs, and obviously that is something Harden does, but it is not something he does every time he does a step back. And my problem with the James Harden signature step back is when he does a step back going right, every single time you do it going right is he does the one-legged, as you can see, the one-legged step back, and that's not something that James Harden does every time. So when it comes to the step backs, the Ben McLemore, no, it does not have the double step back in the package, but this is the most accurate in terms of form to get exactly what James does in game. Now, if you are absolutely obsessed with the double step back, you can go ahead and use the normal 19 package, as it does have the double step back in there as well. But for accuracy's sake and for what I had seen James do in game, the Ben McLemore hop jumper package was the most accurate for James. Going to the over to the layup packages, the Harden package is fine, so absolutely no reason to change that. Very accurate. For the go-to dunk package, we're going athletic one-handers off of 1. He's put some weight on, so I don't know how much he's really doing these at this point, but just going off a lot of footage, he's almost always doing the athletic one-handers off of 1 or the sidearm tomahawks. Very happy with that. The post game is completely updated as well. It is a little bit hard to find footage of Harden in the post, but you know, from what I had seen when he kind of just did spin jumpers and things of that nature, these are accurate, and I just picked ones that really matched, you know, his animations and things of that nature. Now, as we get over to the handles, this was a really big thing for me. The dribble style, we are going to keep at the James Harden package, but we are going to go ahead and switch to the Tracy McGrady signature size up. From what I can see in the footage in terms of how Harden likes to break guys down in isolation situations, the Tracy McGrady package matched the best to me. Now, there is a slight problem. in my testing, I was finding it extremely difficult to do step backs and, you know, side steps out of the Tracy McGrady package. It was just very hard without having the ball glitch to get into those animations with the Tracy McGrady package. So while this is the most accurate, that's what you can use. Another accurate portrayal of how Harden breaks guys down off the dribble in isolation situations, you can also go with the Ben Simmons package. Now what happens is with the Ben Simmons package, it still has these points where he's lower with the ball like Harden likes to do, but there are slight pauses which make Harden's signature step backs that he does a little bit easier to pull off in game. So I'll leave that up to you. You can choose Ben Simmons, you can choose the Tracy McGrady, the T-Mac package. Both are accurate. I think the T-Mac is a little bit more accurate, but the Ben Simmons size up might be a little bit more practical. All right, guys, and that is going to do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. James Harden was a lot of fun to work on. It feels great to get him looking right. We will see what team he's playing for in the coming days, in the coming weeks. I really don't know who he's going to be playing for. I hate that the situation got with Houston to where it got to, but we will see. Next up, based on the polls, we are going to do Lonzo Ball. I will release my Lonzo Ball shot here shortly. His shot is changed a lot since he had that release where he was shooting from the left side of his face, but it has changed now, so we'll go ahead and get Lonzo updated. Let me know in the comments who you guys want to see after that. The #1 request I've gotten so far, I mean, we've got Zach LaVine, CJ McCollum, Ja Morant. Some people were asking for Anthony Edwards, the rookie. So let me know in the comments who you want to see next, and, you know, obviously we'll get started on that. Guys, I want to make it clear, these signature shots, this is not something where I'm going to be pumping out 5-6 of them a week. I put my time into these. I make sure they're accurate, and they do take time for me to get out. So I really appreciate the support, guys. Make sure to follow me on all my social networks at ShadyMikeGaming. Join the 2K Modding Society if you're into modding content as well. And I'm sorry, guys, I had to make a little editing cut here. James Harden to the Nets is confirmed. Oh my goodness. You guys don't know how happy I am as a Sixers fan that we did not mortgage our future and give up Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and 3 first-rounders. The Nets mortgaged the future, sent a whole bunch of picks, lost Jared Allen, gutted their team. I don't know how that's going to work for them. I don't see it working out with Kyrie Irving basically missing, Harden out overweight. It's a lot of pressure on KD, I think, but we will see how that turns out. I just had to edit in here and be like, yes, I saw the news. But guys, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I'm out. Peace. Threes.